It's the Walter61 back with another video. I've been posting a couple different videos about mob spawning and mob crushers and softeners, etc., etc. And someone wanted to see how it would look all wired up, all hooked up, and ready to go. So I decided to go ahead and throw together another real quick tutorial. We're going to have the funnel system. I'll show you how to hook up to the crusher system. First, let's go ahead and see it in action. You hit the one button. The blades get crushed. This block up here that's being pushed by the sticky piston is a glass block that is blocking off the flow of any more one to come down, which don't appear to be. Oh well. So you go ahead and kill the blaze, and once the last blaze is done, no longer pressing on this pressure plate, it retracts, allowing more blaze to fall down through. Over here we have a simple on-off button. It dispenses lava from above that lights up the inside enough so that the blaze will no longer be spawning. Another quick click, it turns back off, and they spawn again. We don't need to watch the lava. You can trust me on the lava. Take a quick look. Here's how it looks from the outside. It's a fairly big structure, but it is what it is. Crushing mechanism back here. This is obviously designed for the PC version. I'll try to do a version for the console as well. This is the wiring up here for the lava, and in we go. Holy moly. Blaze fall down through. Some of them get stuck for a minute, but they eventually all work their way down. There you go, buddy. Breathe your buds. There you go. See, still spawning. The nature of the beast, though, makes it so that some of them are going to die in the crushing mechanism. That can't be helped, really. We'll get into the hows and whys and everything here in a second after it's complete. So there's one died, two died, but see more up there ready to come down, but they can't because there's blaze already down here. Last one's dead, more fall through. Crush. Turn on the lava. Die. Here comes the lava to turn it all off. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. Step 1. Find yourself a blaze spawner. These obviously spawn naturally in nether fortresses. I am not in a nether fortress. But the wonders of console commands has allowed me to place this blaze spawner here for our purposes. Now, what you're gonna want to do, surround this with a block that you don't want to use for your outside, okay? Then from there, count off 3 more on either side. 1, 2, 3. Make it 2. Or make, yeah. 2 more. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. And fill it in until it's a big square. These blocks right here are all going to be later broken. So you can use anything you want. Seeing as you're building this in the netherrack is a good option. Also fill in one layer underneath, all the way, and on the top as well. When you're done, it should look something like this. It is important to note, at this point, you will be being attacked by blaze repeatedly. And if you're out in the open, probably gassed as well. So it's very important that you chug-a-lug at least a couple fire resistance potions before you get started. Not gassed. Gassed will still mess your world up. But, Blaze. Blaze will not do you any damage if you have fire resistance on. Next, you're going to coat the outside in whatever block you want. A lot of people use glass for this. I'm not a fan. So we're just going to use the red clay. Just build all the way around. Until we should now have what looks like the cross section of some sort of delicious candy. Possibly with a delicious shell on the outside. At this point, it is important to note the very center so you know exactly where your spawner is. Your spawner will be right here. You can leave that there if you want to. It's not a bad idea. Next up, you need to build up 2 blocks all the way around. On the top here. And then we're going to go ahead and build a roof as well. Once again, all of these blocks are up to you what you want them to be. I'm just using red clay because I like how it looks. From here, just build in your top. And just so you remember, go ahead and leave out that center hole because we need it here in a little bit anyways. That step is much later, but no need to place a block if we can avoid it. Ta-da! Come down below. Build out 2 blocks. All the way around just like on top. It bears noting that this does use a incredible amount of building blocks. So choose wisely how you want to look aesthetically versus what is easy for you to obtain. Next up, you're going to want to come outside and place exactly 1 block, 3 in from the corner. So 1, 2, 3, and do it on either side. It doesn't matter where you count it from. These blocks are just temporary as well. They're here to help us place pistons. Start on any side, place a piston on the block, and then just keep going over till you've got 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you guessed it, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I then like to finish going around. That is not necessary. In fact, it is a waste of blocks, especially if your blocks are in limited supply. But I'm in creative mode, and this is my tutorial. So I'm gonna build them like that. I'm gonna break those blocks too. Alright. Go ahead and fill in the blocks here that aren't where the sticky pistons are, and then place whatever block you want for the sticky pistons. Now, here's where there's a question of how you want this done. You can place glass for these that they'll push. Your blaze will all end up down the bottom. They will all be the exact same health. But you run the risk of blaze getting stuck inside your glass and glitching out your system and rendering it useless. So you could have big chunks not working. You can place a solid block, and your blaze run the risk of becoming damaged, but your system will not glitch up. I personally like to use solid blocks. The choice is yours. Come down below. Go ahead and trace out the bottom here with another line of blocks. Cover up all the sticky pistons and such. Next up, place one block and another block out, break that block. Now you want to build out a 2-block shelf all the way around, leaving a hole in the middle of the structure. You might note that it is getting slightly dark inside here, so you shouldn't be getting any spawns, but if you did not do all of this correctly up here, the blaze may be coming to say hi at this point. Phew. Excellent. Alright, you can now fill in the blocks down here that aren't where the sticky pistons are. Now, every hole facing in, place a repeater facing toward that block, like so. And then on all the blocks in front, you want to place a pressure plate. Stone. It's important that it's stone. You make it wood, you run the risk of, if your blaze end up dying and then their blaze rods fall onto one of these, then once again it renders part of your structure useless, and we're all about efficiency. So the blaze are all spawning, they fly over here, they land, they get pushed down. It's a funnel. It's a funnel. Now, come on down, and on the back block here, put 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and once again, fill in the hole back there, fill in the hole back there, and I'm sure you can guess the basic pattern by now. It's basically the same as up here, only 2 blocks less. Place whatever you want on the pistons. I'm using the red sandstone. Once again, a ring around the outside. Away. And then 1 block, break it, or 2 blocks, break the first block. There we go. That's what I was trying to say. And then once again, 2 blocks all the way around the edge. Like so. And we are nearing the completion of stage 1. Fill in the holes right here. Fill in the holes right here. Grab some potion of night vision so you guys can see what I'm doing. Better. And once again, repeaters in the holes. Oh. And then stone pressure plates in front. So once again, spawn, fall. Alright, we're down to the final ring, so come down and place 1 piston right in the middle of every side. Once again, fill in the hole around the edge. Like so. And fill in all those. Different block on there. You don't have to put a different block on there. I just, for aesthetic reasons. And I'm sure you know by now the drill. Ring around the outside. Then place 2 blocks break the back one, and then a 2 block ring all the way around, which will leave exactly 1 block hole in the middle, like so, which is right below where your spawner should be if you have followed all of these steps correctly. Repeater, 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 plate, 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 plate. And I take that as a good sign. Now you might be thinking, what happens if they land right here? Mobs tend to move around a little bit. So yes, they may sit here for a second, but the second they move, they end up getting shoved. So, no worries there. Step 1. Alright, down below, gonna want to put another layer of blocks. Whoop. Try not to mess things up like I just did. What we're trying to do here is have a 2 block hole where the blaze can gather while the other ones are being crushed. The crusher will start down below this. Important to note, for the lighting system, you're going to need a sign. It doesn't matter which side, just on this bottom block here to block off the lava from falling all the way down. Whew. Now you need to decide which side is your front, which side is your back. We're going to call this right here the back. We're going to call this the front, coincidentally enough. So on your back, place 2 sticky pistons facing, or on top of each other facing that way, with a block below them. You need a block of glass on the top, because this will be your stopper piston, and a solid block on the bottom for your crushing mechanism. Come around to the back. We're going to place 2 blocks on these pistons here. Bit of redstone there with 2 repeaters coming out of it. Repeater facing in to either block like so. This right here is going to be the PC version. We will do the Xbox version next. So we're going to put a block of redstone like so. Sticky piston 1 block away. Sticky piston right next to it. Block diagonal from either piston with a bit of redstone behind each piston. Next up, we need a couple comparators and some hoppers. So just place 1 hopper like so, shift click into that hopper, break the first hopper, shift click into the second one so the hoppers are facing into each other, and finally comparators facing either which way. This right here is a hopper clock. Once we put items into it, it'll start cycling back and forth, but we don't want to do that quite yet. These 2 repeaters need to go into a block right here with a torch, which leads into a repeater, which goes into a block, which goes into a torch. That's going to make everything freak out for a second until we put another repeater like so. There we go, and everything calms down. This is just a simple RS NOR latch that will lock the system after it is activated. Right here is where you want to run your input. So wherever you want your button at, we're going to put our button right there. On the other side, come around to the front. Let's go ahead and make it that. And where's the button at? There it is. Alright, we go. To get these blazed down to exactly 1 punch of health, you need exactly 25 items in your hopper. 25 of any item. 25. Next up, we need to set up an RS NOR latch that will handle the stopper piston. So from this block, place yourself a torch. Come up here, break that block, Place a torch there. And put 4 more blocks like so. Block there. Sorry, block there. Torch. Repeater. Repeater. Same idea as that down there. Another RS NOR latch. Now we need to make a torch tower from here that ends up under here. So that block right there with a torch, which is going to be on this one, another torch there, like so. Alright, next up we got to go ahead and do the auto shut off. So where your block with your pressure plate is, I changed it to wood for the purpose of the demonstration. I'll explain why in a second, but you want it to be stone. Put a torch on the side of the block and lead it out, and you need it to end up right here, which would be right in line with this torch on this block here. So another torch, another block, another torch. After that, you can go back ahead and refill in all of the wall and the floor that I just dug up, and I'll show you. Blaze spawn, they end up on the pressure plate. You get the crusher, everything goes according to plan, everything gets crushed. Chun, 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 chun. You kill the last one, they no longer press in the pressure plate. It allows more to fall in through. One button, auto reset. Auto reset. Auto Alright, let's read this up Xbox and PlayStation style. Same setup as before. We got our floor out here. We've got a button. And directly where the button is, we got a block. We got 2 blocks here where the pistons are facing. So, first things first, put a bit of redstone right there with a repeater facing into it, and make another RS NOR latch, which is a block with a torch with a repeater leading into another block, leading into another torch, leading into another repeater, like so. From there, repeaters, 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 leading back into this block. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. That might not be enough, but it is enough to get us started. All to maximum delay. What this will do is this is going to control the crusher piston, and it will not reset until all of these cycle through. So, since this is the crusher piston, go ahead and put a repeater there facing into a block, bit of redstone up there, like so. On the side of this block, we want a redstone torch and 2 repeaters facing into this block with a torch on the side. Come up here. Here's your top piston, directly diagonal from it. Go ahead and break that and put yourself a torch right there. Then build out 1, 2, 1, 2. Put a block right there with a torch, another repeater, and another repeater, another RS NOR latch. Now our mission is to break that block and make this torch tower go up like so. So a block on top of this torch with another torch, which activates this one, that one. Got it, got it, got it. Got it. Got it. Excellent. Whew. So as of right now, the button will activate the crusher, activates the stopper, but the stopper does not stop. The stopper will not stop. Sounds like a bad tagline to a bad movie. So we're going to go ahead and dig out some here to get to the bottom of where our pressure plate is. Once again, this needs to be stone, but just for demonstration purposes, we're going to leave it wood. Put a torch on the back of it, and 2 bits of redstone leading into a block, into another torch. Put a block on top, torch there too. Now, if something is activating this pressure plate, say you got a whole load of blades are coming down and they're pressing that pressure plate, then you activate the crusher. Both pistons activate. Tick 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 tick. But you notice that the top one did not retract. So you come down here and you punch and punch and punch and punch and punch and punch, and then the last one dies. The pressure plate is no longer being depressed, and more fall through. Feel free to rebuild your wall. And that's how you wire it up on the Xbox. Alright, now regardless of whether you do it on PC or console, doing the lighting is fairly simple. Remember this hole we left here? Place yourself a dispenser facing inward and put a bucket of lava in. Surround the hole so there's just a hole leading into there. There you go, repeater, redstone, and you're going to want to come out at least a couple, say 3. That way you're avoiding the pistons. Connect the redstone up to that your lava will activate. Don't worry about that. And then just build a big line of blocks down here. We're going to make another torch tower. If you don't want this to be exposed over here for whatever logistics reasons, you can build this basically anywhere over here. It's pretty simple. Break every other block. And then just place a torch on every one. Now all you gotta do we'll put another wall right here. The button. Redstone, redstone. This button, when pressed, will flip the state of all of those torches and either send out the lava or bring it back. The last final step is breaking all of these temporary blocks we left in here. The second you have a too high space, these blades are going to start showing up, and if you're not any creative like I am, they're going to show up angry. So make sure you have your fire resistance at the ready. Very carefully break out all of these blocks while avoiding being burned to death, while avoiding breaking, sorry dude, the mob cage. Almost there. And there you go. can see they're already funneling themselves down through. Oh, missed. Get a couple already. Go ahead and crush them. Throw a couple snowballs, and more come down. And then once you're done, you can hit the button. And here comes the lava. The lava will stop right there so it doesn't flow out into your mechanism. And last but not least, if you were using the wood pressure plate like I was for the demonstration purposes, switch it over to stone. All lavaed up. Oh, and of course, turn back off. Crush it. Alright guys, hope you found that easy enough to follow. Hope you had fun. Hope it works out well for you. Hope you didn't run out of blocks halfway through, because it does take a lot of blocks. Hopefully you didn't get burned alive by the lava or the blaze. Until next time, thanks for watching and bye-bye.